Ladies and gents, the playoffs have officially begun. The play-ins finished today. I apologise to you guys. I didn't get a video out the other day for the other two elimination games. But realistically, I was watching them, and about halfway through the Bulls game, I was like, I really didn't want to report on it because, to be honest, both games were pretty bad. The Grizzlies took care of business today, and the Miami Heat also took care of business today. I sort of touched on, I did think the Atlanta Hawks were going to bomb out in straight sets, and they did do that. The Miami Heat, to be honest, hats off to them. They played a much better game. Tyler Hero was hitting big shot after big shot. Bam played a great game defensively and offensively. Offensively, he could have been a little bit better, but for the most part, he played really well. Davion Mitchell, he's probably the main guy for them today. As good as Tyler Hero was and as good as Bam was, they don't win that overtime without him. Davion walks up the floor 4 times in that overtime and hits the biggest of threes of the whole game. His confidence in his jump shot as of recent times with the last couple of weeks and everything has been absolutely phenomenal. Like, he's just, every time he shoots the ball, he's stepping in with confidence. He looks like he's actually going to make an impact on the game when he takes a jump shot, which for the longest time in Sacramento and even his short tenure in Toronto, his jump shot really wasn't a thing that they were looking at. They looked at Davion Mitchell for his defense and how good he is on the defensive side of the ball, which, mind you, he went down the defensive end of the floor this game as well and took care of Trae Young. Trae Young had a decent game today, but in terms of superstardom and your superstar needing to step up during the big time, he didn't really do that. He had a couple of flashes that were like up and down. He hit a couple of big shots that kept them around. But as soon as that overtime came around, I think about the only thing that he did that was majorly of impact was the fumbling ball that still rolled out of bounds and went straight to the Heat. So it really wasn't an overly... I felt like the Heat were pretty confident in their own ability for this whole game. I never really saw a world where Atlanta started to get up. Onyeka Okongwu, he was the main reason for their main run in the second half, and he, getting to the ring. His improvement on his three-point jump shot, they were saying on the broadcast, has been night and day. And for him to continue to make a better jump shot and get his jump shot to where it needs to be will be huge for the organisation in the next few years, especially if they go out and Clint Capella comes back and they want to run a Okongwu at the 4, or, they just want that stretchability of him at the 5 spot. It's going to change the way that they play basketball, and he will, if he continues that development, will continue to make an impact on that team. Miami Heat, I have a lot of good things to say about Miami in that game today. They just seem to do everything right, and I had them losing to the Bulls, which, by the way, out of all my predictions, I only got one prediction wrong, and it was that the Bulls were going to beat the Heat, but other than that, I got all the rest of my picks right. It was a good game today. Miami, like they tend to do, had a pretty terrible start to the fourth quarter, and that was sort of why Atlanta pulled back into the game. Because for all of this year, Miami Heat have been an absolutely awful fourth quarter team. They lead the league in, losses going into the fourth quarter while leading. So they really just need to tone in on all 4 quarters. If they were to be able to play all 4 quarters, they will be at least able to keep up with the Cavs for a game or two. I personally believe, they will impact. Tyler Hero is that impactful that he might be able to steal a game from the Cavs. The Cavs, obviously, much better team than the Atlanta Hawks by night and day. They got a lot more size. They got a lot more shooting. Darius Garland's as good of a playmaker as Trae Young, and he has Donovan Mitchell by his side. Who knows what that looks like? Who knows who Davion Mitchell goes to on their defensive sets? I assume he will have the task of guarding Donovan Mitchell, But then that leaves Tyler Hero guarding Darius Garland, and Darius Garland is a really good offensive player. So it'll be interesting to see who they assign Davion to see if Davion can continue to be as impactful as he is during these two playing games. Because if he can keep it up, he will change how long this series goes. Obviously, I have the Cavs taking it out, but I do see a world where the Heat take maybe one, maybe two games. Out west, the Mavericks. It was, to be honest, it was the performance that I expected to see 2 nights ago against the Kings. Anthony Davis, 40 points, ridiculous game. But it doesn't matter how good Anthony Davis played. As soon as the final siren went, and before the final siren even went, I went on Instagram and overtimes on there clowning Nico Harrison before the game's even over. Because 8 minutes left in the game, I think it was, Anthony Davis goes off the court with a limp. And everybody's mind instantly goes to the same place. You traded Luka Doncic for this man who, for the longest time in his career, obviously, last couple of years with the Lakers, he's been incredible. I think he played 70-odd games last season. So he was really fit and healthy through that stretch. But if for him to go off the court limping in a must-win play-in game, it was hard to watch. And everybody's going to say the exact same thing, no matter how you put it, no matter how you spin it. Kyrie was out, this and that. They're going to look at Luka Doncic, who's currently sitting in the 3 seed and about to play tomorrow. It's hard for them, and I don't know what's next for the Dallas Mavericks. Because this team that I watched today, I personally believe that even if you add Kyrie Irving to this mix, I don't think I see them. They obviously get to the playoffs with Kyrie in the lineup, but I don't know how much further they go than that. And Anthony Davis's health is only going to get worse the more that he gets older. It's going to be hard for them to actually stay on the court, stay competitive, and really just dig in for one another. I just don't know what it looks like for them. On the other side of the coin, the Memphis Grizzlies played a phenomenal game today. Jaren Jackson Jr., as I said, he's been shooting the ball recently as good as I've ever seen him shoot the ball. Ja Morant, they said that he's got injections pre-game for his ankles, and his ankles for that first half at least look next to unhurt. Like, he looked like Ja Morant in the first half. Second half was a bit slower for them. I think he just tended to slow down a tiny bit because, to be honest, the Mavericks were never really a chance. But he did slow down. Zach Edey had a much better game today. Credit where credit's due. Zach Edey actually attacked the glass today. Had a few crucial blocks on a few players. Putbacks, had a putback dunk or two. Just attacking the basket and making the use of his height. He just needs to develop, and of course he will over time. It's only his rookie season, so he is going to get better. But he just has to develop the mental side of things. Where to be when. When Jar's doing this, where do I need to be? Sort of, just those sort of things. They're intangible things that he will progressively get better at over time, provides he stays at Memphis for a longer tenure. But he will start to impact winning. He just needs to play like today every day, pretty much. Scottie Pippen Jr., he came from the Lakers 18 months ago, and to be honest, I just thought he was spare parts. But he more than likely will be a part of Memphis's playoff rotation now. And he is a hell of a player. I do nothing but tip my hat to him. He's a great second option for Ja. His playmaking could get slightly better, but when you've got a guard who's pretty damn good on the defensive side of the ball and a threat to get up on the rebounds, even though he is so small, score the ball, his three-point jump shot has started to improve slightly, which will be huge for that organization. They outnumbered the Mavericks today. PJ Washington, to be honest, I turned the game off halfway through the fourth quarter. I don't think PJ Washington ended up scoring in the entire game, and I think he played 25 plus minutes. So That's like, if you get absolutely nothing out of the extras, that was the recipe for the Mavericks, and that was the way that the Mavericks were going to win. Klay Thompson played another good game today. He was shooting the ball really well again today. But if he's the only other person giving you any sort of offense and he's scoring 15 points, more than likely you're not going to win the game. It was hard to watch. PJ Washington never looked like scoring. He didn't really look involved in any of the play at all. And in the second half, just looked like he didn't want to be there. Big off season for the Dallas Mavericks. Who knows what happens next? Will Nico Harrison be in that front office once the season 2026 tips off? We have no idea. But from recent knowledge and everything that's gone on, Mavericks fans will not be the same for a very, very long time. Because they went 12 months ago, they were in the finals, and now they're crashing out of the play-ins and not even making a playoff spot. It's gonna be difficult for them. Last thing to touch on, Memphis. I don't think they will really compete with OKC. I think OKC maybe do them in 5 games. They've got the height, they've got the skill. Shea is just going to be a menace for them. Desmond Bane is about their best defender in the starting lineup, and Desmond Bane is way too short to guard Shea. So I think Shea puts up at least 30 a game. And yeah, I think OKC take it pretty comfortably, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was a good game from the Grizzlies today, and if they can, do that night in and night out, I think they take one game off OKC, but I don't think they really do much more than that. That's really all I had for you guys today. A bit of a one take, no cuts today. Don't really have time to be doing cuts because I got stuff to do. Yeah. 2 big games today. Playoffs start tomorrow. Playoff games, by the way, for me in Australia, the first game, Pacers and Bucks, is on at 3 o'clock in the morning. So more than likely, Pacers and Bucks fans, I won't be able to report on that game. I will try and get up for the next game, which is at 5:30. I'll see how I go with that. But I will definitely be watching the Lakers and the Wolves. That's on at 11:30. And I forget what the other game is. It's on at about 9 o'clock. I will definitely be there for those 2 games. I'm not sure about the first 2. It's just Eastern time. It honestly just ruins me. The West time's probably the best for me because it's usually progressively during the day. But yeah, the East is a bit of a hard one. It'll slow down the further we get into the playoffs, but for right now, 3 o'clock's a bit rough for me, especially being a part-time gig as this is. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow with another recap. The playoffs have officially begun. The play-ins are now done. Watching mediocre teams go head-to-head is now over, which is great. And yeah, actual playoffs start tomorrow. So excited. I will see you guys then to talk about it. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. Thank you.